It's Gorman in the Morning with Fletcher and Ryder. Now, 92 KQRS.
Gorman in the morning on Minnesota's 92 KQRS. Happy Friday! It is Friday morning. Glad to have you with us. I'm feeling Minnesota, Paul Fletcher. So without further delay, some headlines, please.
All right. A fleet of self-driving cars from WAYMO has begun operating in Minneapolis streets as part of early testing for a possible future ride-hailing service.
Just in time for the winter weather.
Well, you know what? I'm getting to that. WAYMO currently exists in Atlanta, Austin, Phoenix, LA, and San Fran, and has selected Minneapolis as its next major testing ground. And, as you just alluded to, they reportedly like us for our winters. No official launch date as of yet, though.
Just saw a bunch of Waymos in Atlanta last weekend.
Sure.
And with every one I saw, I went, oh, there's one of those. Very uncomfortable. Sorry, I just don't like the idea. I'm totally opposed.
You didn't get into one?
I did not get into one.
Oh, dude, they're freaking cool.
They are until they decide to lock you in and catch on fire.
Right.
No evidence that that's happened, but I just wait for it to happen.
Terminator.
Wait, these are not Teslas. These are Jaguars, right?
Yeah.
Waymo's the Jaguar company?
Yep.
All right, that's different. They don't tend to self-immolate quite the way the Teslas seem to.
I actually got a text. We got a text somewhere from somebody yesterday saying they were recently in Phoenix. I think it was Dave. And he said there was the windows in the back seats weren't super tinted,
right?
So you couldn't see anybody in the back seat. All you saw was a car driving down the road with nobody in it.
Yeah,
it was bizarre.
And by the way, it's not the Waymo itself I'm worried about. There's 1,200 cameras on every car, or some crazy number of cameras. The whole thing's just a camera, and it's very safe. It's the human element next to the robot car that freaks me out. If every car was a Waymo, I'd feel more safe. It's the combination. It's the combo platter is what's gonna be problematic.
Okay.
I'm an all or nothing kind of guy, though.
That's true. A bunch of college students at the University of Texas may have helped solve a murder case that went cold for over 30 years. Here's one of the students, one of the members of the police department, as well as the daughter of the woman who was murdered, Cynthia Gonzalez, talking about it.
We had to comb through about 400 or 500 files, photographs from the crime scene.
Miss Perkins knew information that only a killer would know.
I am so grateful for this program, and I am so proud of these students at UTA, and I'm so thankful for what they have done and the time that they've spent and the effort they've put into this case.
A little bit of a backstory. A 25-year-old woman was killed in 1991. No one was arrested for it. Criminology students poured through old evidence and realized a lady she was friends with had motive and no alibi. Cops announced this week that they arrested that woman for murder. And there you go.
So basically, the police at the time didn't do their job and didn't pay close attention. They didn't do a lot of due diligence and follow-up. And then a bunch of college kids looking through the files went, well, wait a minute. What about this person right here?
Yeah.
That's what you're telling me.
That's what it sounds like to me. And here's the thing.
And did it for free.
For free.
Right. Well, and we're not talking about DNA this, DNA that. We're talking about just doing the work. That's the thing that, kind of like you just said, that's what's crazy about this.
I was in Austin in 1991, but I had nothing to do with this. I'm just going to say.
Do you have an alibi?
I used to say to myself, there's two things a touring musician could be great at. One, spy. Spook for the U.S. government. You have a reason to be in all these places. And, of course, two, a serial killer.
Friggin' murderer.
Yeah, you could just get away. What are you talking about? I was there playing a gig. Yeah. Where were you between midnight and 1 before the bus rolled? I don't remember.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I was hammered. What do you want?
I was spying for the government and killing people. Sorry, you get a lot. It gets bored on the road. You got to come up with alter egos and imagine things like that.
That's right. As you would probably guess, MSP Airport is anticipating a very busy season. More than 441,000 travelers are expected between yesterday and Monday, December 1st. Sunday, November 30th is expected to be the busiest day with more than 49,000 passengers. AAA projecting 2025 to be a record-setting Thanksgiving holiday travel season.
One of those Sunday travelers is Marley Gorman, flying back to Virginia. She's in town for the holiday, will be, and then she was going to leave on Saturday. And then she saw there's a gig Saturday night in town, so I don't even know who it is, but she's going to stay for it. And I go, so you're going to fly home on Sunday of Thanksgiving weekend? She's like, it'll be all right. I'm like, have fun.
Yeah.
See you later.
Better you than me.
Yeah. Pack a sandwich.
Yeah.
You're going to be waiting a while.
Or 4.
I predict she gets back to where she's going on Tuesday.
Yeah, I got 2 Gorman kids coming in for the holiday, and the young lad is blowing out the day after Friday. He's like, yeah, I'm getting out.
Smart move.
Yeah, it's a very smart move.
You know what, though? It feels like to me, just the way Marley's life goes, she'll have a super smooth day and it'll go super easy.
Yeah, well, she's kind of like that.
Yeah.
Even when things go sideways, she's just like, all right, cool.
Yeah. All right, fair enough. Soundgarden is close to finishing an album featuring previously unreleased recordings with late frontman Chris Cornell, produced by Terry Date. God, I can't wait for this. The surviving members say they're excited about the new music, adding the demos have been powerful and transformative, leading to a distinct Soundgarden sound. The delay in releasing the music is due to legal disputes with Vicky Cornell. They have been emotionally challenging, quote unquote, but has added weight to the project.
That's a nice way of not calling people bad names.
Yeah, I guess.
Wow.
Rise above.
Glad it's worked out. I, too, look forward to hearing that.
Listen, I freaking love Soundgarden, but you don't have permission from Chris Cornell to do this. He may never have wanted any of this stuff to be heard. I don't think it's fair. I think it's a money grab.
Wow.
How are they going to make money from music in 2026?
Yeah.
Does Soundgarden need to make money from music in 2026?
That's not the question.
They're not going to sell it. They're going to put it up on Spotify like everybody else, and they'll get a check for $11 from Daniel Ack one day when he's not busy flagging AI and buying drones and being a scumbag who ruined music.
I think
that's just me.
I think those other 3 guys very much have Chris Cornell on their minds and their hearts. And
I think so, too.
I don't think it's a cash grab at all.
But you're never going to know for sure.
But maybe they do know. Maybe
they know better than we do.
If Cornell's recording demos and the band is working and touring, which they were doing every day when he died, they may have they probably have insight into what he was thinking.
Okay.
We also don't know that they didn't have a medium in their band meetings.
I'll say this too, real quick. Good, honorable people, those 3 gentlemen.
Sure.
I know that from personal experience. I think I trust
that's
them.
true.
I vouch for them.
All right,
moving
there you
on.
go. Record Store Day, Black Friday, will, of course, feature a boatload of exclusive vinyl releases 1 week from today. A couple noteworthy ones. Bob Dylan is offering the original Freewheeling Bob Dylan and a 7-inch reissue of Masters of War. Led Zeppelin will release a 7-inch single, Trampled Underfoot. And then there are exclusives from Talking Heads, Fleetwood Mac, Grateful Dead, Tom Petty, Warren Zevon, the Rolling Stones, and more, all offering never-before-released material or fresh variants, only at indie record stores 1 week from today.
Bunch of singles from Sugar, too.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Good call.
50 years ago, when Led Zeppelin released Physical Graffiti featuring the song Trampled Underfoot, if you had said, hey, in 50 years, there's going to be a thing called Record Store Day, and you'll be putting out a 7-inch single of this, they would have looked at you and gone, what? Huh? Every day's Record Store Day. What do you mean, mate?
It's true.
I mean, you can go any 50 years in history, you're like, nobody would make sense of it, but probably nothing weirder than the fact that, to someone in 1975, if you explained what was going to happen to the way we distribute and listen to music, that it would just been like, I'm sorry, I'm tapping out now.
A 41-year-old man in Florida was marching down a street. You know what? Instead of me setting it up, let's just let the legendary Sheriff Grady Judd talk about it.
We did get some security footage from a Tesla. That's right. A man's going to work. It's 36 degrees. And this dude is walking down the road buck naked. He's not even wearing his socks. So this nice man called the sheriff's office. We responded, and there he is, marching down the side of the road. We asked him, what are you doing? Well, it's a TikTok challenge. Well, you don't even have your cell phone. You're really naked when you don't have your cell phone. Nope. So we arrested him for obvious violations of the law.
Sure.
He went to the jail without any clothes on, buck naked.
Oh, man. Call me when he's doing this and it's 10 below, and then I'll say he's in Wisconsin.
He doesn't even have socks on.
And when you don't have your phone, you're really buck naked.
Yeah.
For anyone who's never heard buck naked, that's just what they say down south.
It is, yeah, indeed.
Naked.
Yeah.
Man, he's naked as a jaybird.
Naked.
You ever hear that one?
No. Does a jaybird not have feathers?
I've never known what it meant.
What the frick a jaybird is?
Oh, man, he was naked as a jaybird, dude.
Apparently a jaybird doesn't have socks.
He was tore slap up walking down the street buck naked.
Is that drunk or high?
Tore slap up is drunk.
Okay.
Oh, man, he was tore slap up, got himself naked. Really? Oh, man. Well, you know JJ. That's just how he rolls.
I guess.
All right, let's talk sports briefly, shall we?
Yeah.
Not a lot to talk about from last night other than Thursday Night Football. The Buffalo Bills reminded us all that they are, in fact, the Buffalo Bills.
They lost to the Texans?
Well, now the Texans do have they have the best defense in the league statistically. That defense is serious. However, you have Josh Allen. He is a mountain who can throw a football, win games. They just need a new coach. I'm sorry. Sean McDermott is never getting this team over. Good thing, good culture builder, blah, blah, blah. It's time to move on, Buffalo. The Wolves are at Phoenix tonight, 8 p.m. That's an NBA Cup game, not a regular season game. The Wolves sitting at 10-5. The Wild are in Pittsburgh at 6 p.m. 24 points after 21 games, but as we've been discussing, on a tear right now. The Frost. Not the one, but the two-time defending champion Minnesota Frost kicked their season off tonight, 6 p.m., Grand Casino Arena. Will you be there?
I will.
Wearing your hat, I assumed as much.
Yeah, in fact, I'll be there early. We got to rehearse raising another banner.
Wow, how about that?
You don't have practice from the other 2 times?
You can never rehearse too much, right?
That's very true. How about the Gophers tomorrow playing Northwestern at Wrigley Field?
Oh, cool.
What? Second week in a row,
cool.
Northwestern will kick off at Wrigley Field.
All right.
Lost to Michigan last week, so they're going to want to take it on the Gophers. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Hey, Corcoran. Just want to say, hey, Corcoran.
That's a good spot.
Yeah, it is a good spot.
My dad helps, his retirement job is in Corcoran at a golf course.
Very nice.
Yeah, Corcoran.
Good retirement job.
Right. The best retirement job.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
Billboard magazine has put out the 50 best rock bands of all time. A list of the 50 greatest bands. The criteria, they said, we want to keep the focus on true bands. So there's no vocal groups in here. Like, it's bands who play their own instruments and largely write their own music. You know, self-sustaining musical acts. So sorry, Backstreet Boys.
That's exactly where I was going to go.
Menudo, no Daiso. Sorry. But as far as bands go, there's and of course there's a million different, whatever your personal criteria are. Like, for instance, when I look at bands, I often think, well, there's the greatest bands ever, which is your subjective. Here are my favorite bands. Right. But then there's, who are the greatest careers ever? Who mean the most? Who left the biggest shadow? Whose trail do more bands follow in? There's all those other things. Right. And I think if we're going to start talking about and discussing and arguing about who the best bands of all time are, I think it's only fair to remove one from the list.
Okay.
And that's the Beatles.
Really?
Because there's no comparison that makes sense when you talk about the Beatles. They're the first, if you will. I mean, don't give me that whole Buddy Holly and the Crickets. Shut up. The Beatles are the first worldwide sensation rock and roll band, and they're still the biggest band ever in terms of sales.
Yep.
Yeah.
They have more hit singles than any other band ever. I mean, and I'm saying it's sort of, if you remove them from the list, it's an easier conversation to dig into instead of comparing everybody to the Beatles, which is kind of impossible.
Right.
And so just real quick, the Beatles recorded from 1962 to 1969. That's it.
Right.
That's it?
They released 213 songs.
Yeah.
During those years.
Yeah.
213 songs in 7 years. And here's the crazy part. It's been 56 years since they were in the studio together as a full-time functioning band. Everybody listening to my voice right now has heard minimum 75% of those songs.
Yeah, that's probably
If there's
true.
213 songs, I would bet everybody that's listening to this station has heard 160 of those songs. What other band?
Yeah.
And you know what? Go ahead and cut that almost in half. Just say 100 Beatles songs. Everybody listening to this station right now has heard 100 of their songs, at least.
100% saturation.
No other band can claim 100 songs to the general public, I don't think. So,
no, you're right.
I mean, call me crazy, but I just don't think. I mean, Led Zeppelin didn't even release 100 songs. You know what I mean? Like, in their entire career. Right. So the Beatles have 100 everybody's heard, at least once somewhere. Yeah. So if we can agree to just ignore them because they're just the first, the best, and the greatest ever. And by the way, they cannot be caught. Records don't sell anymore. Like the sales figures, no band is ever going to come up and they cannot be eclipsed. So
sure.
So screw them. Get them off the list. Okay. Congratulations. You're the sun. Now let's talk about the planets that the sun heats.
Oh, I like that.
How about that? How about that?
Yeah.
The big three that get thrown around the most, I think, are the Stones, Zeppelin, and Pink Floyd. Those are the three, like, all-time. I'm going to take Pink Floyd right off the list.
Yeah,
Why are you taking Pink Floyd off the list?
So many albums that the average rock fan doesn't really know. Everyone knows Dark Side, Wish You Were Here, and The Wall.
Yes.
Yep.
That's accurate.
When's the last time somebody put on Metal or Animals?
Yeah.
Good records, cool stuff.
Yep.
But they, Dark Side was their 8th album.
I'm going to venture to say I'm the biggest Pink Floyd fan in this trio, and I 100% agree with you. I think that, like, they're 4 on this list.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it stood out to me.
They had 7 albums out before Dark Side of the Moon. How many of us have gone through all 7 of those? A lot. Not many. Not many.
No.
The Stones, up and down like crazy, but 60 plus years still going.
Yeah.
And I think the Stones, in a weird way, get overlooked because before the late 60s, when they, Jumpin' Jack Flash, Brown Sugar, all of a sudden, like the big 4 albums, Beggar's Banquet, Let It Bleed, Exile on Main Street, Sticky Fingers, those 4, they sort of invented their own, this is what rock and roll music's going to sound like now.
Sure.
Before that, as a pop sort of band in the 60s, they had incredible hits. They have a double album of greatest hits from 1967 backwards.
Yeah.
Right.
Ruby Tuesday, Mother's Little Helper, obviously Satisfaction, Get Off My Cloud. All of those songs, when they were competing with the Beatles for singles, are incredible. So they've had 2. They were the pop band and the rock and roll band. And then ever since, they've just been the old guys who are still pretty great.
I think the best way to sum it up is that ever since, they're just the Stones. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
pretty much.
They're kind of their own thing too, in a way.
It's pretty crazy. So let's. How about this? Well, go ahead. What?
No, you go ahead, because I think my question comes after what you're going to say.
So let's get out of the originals. Let's go just last 40 years. Mid 80s forward, or from 1980 forward. The second wave of all-time great bands, if you will.
Okay.
I think you have to start with U2.
Have to.
But again, whether you like them or not, I think U2 will be. I think they have the greatest career ever. I think they've even surpassed the Beatles in terms of if you could draw it up in like a cartoon, comic book, movie script. 4 guys who are 15 years old start a band, and they're still in that band in their 60s. And they're one of the biggest bands of all time. Same 4 guys, no member changes. Huge thing with me. There's something about the thing the Beatles and Led Zeppelin have is it's only 4 guys. You can never change your mind. U2 is one of those bands. Just those 4. And, I mean, just who were you in high school with at 15? Who were your 3 guys, 3 girls? Can you imagine still being in a band with them? And can you imagine still being in that band in your 60s? And still making new records and doing all of it. It's astounding that they've done this.
And being remotely relevant. You know what I mean?
The only band that's always somehow relevant. I mean, U2, like, they're going to put a record out next year, and I guarantee you it's going to be like, they'll just get in your face somehow. We'll be aware of it. Like,
They're just going to drop it onto your iPhone.
Exactly. They're going to do something.
All right, so who joins U2 in the top 3 of this post-1980 world?
Just waiting for Ryder to shut us up. Impact, yeah, it's hard.
Nirvana's an argument, though, just because it was so short-lived.
Nirvana's an argument? They changed the way that people listen. They changed rock music. It was like before and after Nirvana. And a bunch of people born a little bit before me are still so pissed about it.
Blame the record companies who have no imagination, who didn't say, oh, they're really good, but not everything has to sound that way. Yeah. Nirvana definitely is, they shifted. There was a tectonic shift in the music industry.
For sure.
Guns N' Roses didn't have that same shift because Guns N' Roses came out of a scene that was already popular and just obliterated it. Nirvana came in out of left field like, oh, hey, Sunset Strip, shut up. We're doing this now. Yes. You think you're dark? We're going to go real dark.
Right.
So that is very true. Despite the fact that all those grunge bands, they didn't get together and go, let's do this thing, we're all grunge. I mean, they were just bands that got lumped together because they happened to be from the same city.
Right.
None of them sound you can't put on Alice in Chains and go, now hang on, is that Soundgarden or Pearl Jam? They don't sound alike.
No.
They truly don't. But they're all lumped together. But yeah, Nirvana was the comet. I mean, that was...
For sure.
Now, I mean, as a person who was in a band with a hit record at the time and in the world of music very much my entire universe, trust me, it felt inside even more than on the outside. Like, whoa, what is happening? Because all the bands you knew that were trying to get a record deal in 1990 sounded very different in 1992. They were like, oh, hang on, dude, no, eyeliner, no, hang on. No, we're putting on flannel. Like the number of bands all around the world that just suddenly went, let's do that. I mean, Nirvana it's hard to shake.
I think we're missing one.
Who's that?
Metallica.
Oh, sure. I think
U2, Nirvana, and Metallica might actually complete that triumphant.
We can certainly make the Metallica case. I want to hear what you think on the Luther Westside Volkswagen Talking Text Line 651-989-ROCK. Greatest bands ever. Ranking them. Go ahead. Tell me your favorite bands. Interesting thing about Dire Straits, just because we just heard them, the number one selling British band of the 80s.
No way. Really?
That's both albums and tickets. The biggest British band on earth for the 80s was Dire Straits.
Holy smokes.
That they were huge. Remove the H. That's how big they were. They were huge. 651-989-ROCK, the Luther Westside Volkswagen Talking Text Line, Paul.
Dan says Van Halen beats Metallica, in my opinion. That's Dan from St. Anthony Village.
No, but good. Thanks for playing. I mean, that's everybody's right. That's the great thing about music is everybody is right. But not in this case.
But
Sorry.
But also, too, we're trying to look at this and trying to approach this objectively.
Yeah.
And I think objectively, that's just not accurate.
No, Metallica they have a going on 35 years as the biggest rock band on the planet.
Right.
I mean, since the Black Album, there has not been a bigger rock band. They've not given any ground. Even like, what was it, Unloaded and the movie, the therapy days and all that stuff when people were taking shots at them, they still were like, oh, but we'll go play stadiums all over the world anytime we want. We're the biggest rock band there is.
Okay, this one is a sledgehammer. Okay, we talked about the total, and then we talked about post-80, all the greats, and we didn't mention this band. From Eric in Cottage Grove, Queen is the greatest band ever. Variety of songs, genres is wide, and many are well-known and often played. Name a better vocalist than Freddie. Name a better guitarist than Brian May. And I just got goosebumps across my entire body.
Okay, I'll give you some guitarists greater than Brian May, and I'm a Brian May fan.
Right.
However, greatest frontman of rock history is Freddie Mercury.
Okay.
If you're, I mean... they're all great. By the way, special credit Mick Jagger for inventing the gig.
Sure.
For sure.
He invented rock and roll frontman. There was James Brown, there was Little Richard, there was Elvis, there were people, but in a band where you're partners and you're one of the band, but you're doing that. Thank you, Mick Jagger. But Freddie Mercury, for my money, pound for pound, forget it. It's untouchable. The idea, well, just think of it like this. Who would want to go on after him?
Oh,
nobody.
Zero humans.
Yeah. Nobody.
I would like to hear. You know what? I would be interested in the argument against him.
I would laugh at it myself. Whoever's got one, bring it.
Yeah.
We'll get into this all day long. I mean, I'm just starting to get all fired up. Whoo! I'm starting to sweat. 50 best rock bands ever.
It's Friday.
No one's even mentioned the Misfits yet. What kind of poll is this? Where's the love for Glenn Danzig and the boys?
Jeez.
We're talking. Billboard ranked the top 50 bands of all time. I started the day by saying, okay, just remove the Beatles. Because they're the first, they're the biggest, they're the band. Every band since, whether they want to admit it or even know it, has followed in their wake.
Right.
And they just happen to be that band. They're the biggest selling band ever, which means they will forever be that. It's not possible for another band to outsell them now because we don't buy records like we used to. So they're going to retire as the undefeated heavyweight champions of all time.
Right.
Good for them.
Everything else is up for grabs.
Okay.
No, I'm just saying. It's like you don't even have to like the Beatles' music to. I find it kind of inarguable. They're just all four of those guys. They're four of the 20 most famous musicians that have ever lived are in one band.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just a done deal. Everybody else is up for grabs. Who have we not mentioned, Ryder, that comes to your mind? Like, what about this band or what about that band?
Okay. How is the Who not? Okay. I would put them top 3, but definitely top 5.
The back in the day, man, like put on Who's Next, and it's just like, how does anything compete to the? Yeah, they have at least that one. You could make a strong case for Quadrophenia in my book too.
Yeah,
they have at least one of those albums that you go, this is as good as an album can be.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously they went on with Kenny Jones, and then they was Zach Starkey, and then but the original, the first initial run of the Who, 64 to 80 to 78. Whew. pretty much a firecracker band right there.
Yeah, and a lot of my favorite punk bands will say we're a band because of the Who.
They were the
Clash and the Sex. They were kind of like Black Sabbath, kind of birthed metal. I think the Who.
The Who were.
Punk.
Yeah, they were. I mean, my generation. If you go back to 1965, that's punk rock, man. That's not. I want to hold your hand. It's not even Satisfaction. That's like, oh, look out for those guys.
The Who, huge influence on most all of Seattle as well.
Oh, big time.
I mean, Nirvana, Pearl Jam specifically cite them massively. Oh, yeah. There's one that we haven't brought up, though, that I'm surprised Ryder hasn't brought up.
Which is?
Where's AC/DC?
Oh, well, come on, man. I mean, okay.
You can still play some AC/DC, though.
AC/DC keeps making the same song over and over again, but it may be the greatest rock song ever.
Angus famously said, the guy said, what do you say to people who say you keep rewriting the same 9 songs over and over again? He goes, I'm offended. We keep rewriting the same 6 songs over and over again. And he's right. I mean, AC/DC is, it's funny. They're 2 things at once. One of the 10 biggest bands that's ever lived, and one of the easily most overlooked and always underappreciated bands that's ever been around.
True.
I mean, there's a silliness factor that tends, people just kind of overlook it. And yeah, the lyric, I mean, they are one thing. They just do this thing. And if you think it's silly, if it's beneath you and all that stuff, I thought that. When I was 20, I was like...
If you hate fun, you'll hate
Exactly.
AC/DC.
And there was a time in my life when I hated fun. I needed to think more.
Right. Yeah.
And then one day, in my early 20s, I went, oh my God, I somehow have missed that this is one of the greatest, most badass bands of all time. The musicianship in that band, because the songs are so quote-unquote simple, it's easy to overlook how great they are. Just ridiculous. So I put that, they're on one of my, top 10 bands of all time. They're absolutely on mine. And I don't remember the last time I put on an AC/DC record. I don't have to. Yeah. Like, it's like, sure. I don't put on the Beatles records. I don't have to. They're just there. They're stamped in the DNA.
Right.
Go ahead and hit us up. We'll take your submissions all day. 651-989-ROCK is the Luther Westside Volkswagen Talk and Text line.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
Hey, so WAYMO's on its way to Minneapolis. WAYMO, the self-driving ride-hail vehicles. We don't have a launch date yet, but the robo-taxi company does want to come to the Twin Cities. They're saying Minneapolis. They're not actually saying the Twin Cities. I just assume that means St. Paul as well. We'll find out.
You can get to St. Paul from Minneapolis without taking the interstate, so I'm guessing that you'll make it over there.
Yeah. Okay, probably so. So WAYMO is on the way. Which means you got to prepare yourself for WAYMO headaches on the road.
Maybe.
As we are going to be trying to deal with this. There's a nacho cheese joke in there somewhere.
For sure.
Hey, so Ryder, you have been in a WAYMO, correct?
I have been in a WAYMO, went on a quick trip to Phoenix, and they have WAYMOs there because everything's pretty flat. You can get places without getting on the interstate, and they don't have bad weather at all.
That's right, they don't.
Yeah,
and, if you don't count it's so hot your car might melt as bad weather, they don't have bad weather.
All the WAYMOs are white. Like a ton of cars, if you go to the Southwest, are white because it's easier with the sun and stuff like that. It was a little freaky when you get into the WAYMO at first because it's not like a self-driving Tesla where you have someone behind the driver's seat.
Right.
There is nobody behind the steering wheel.
Yeah.
So you just watch that thing move all on its own. It's a little bit freaky. But I like, as soon as they announced it was coming here, I'm like, oh crap, I should get this WAYMO app now.
Right.
So that I'm ready to go in a year and a half when they're finally up and running.
Am I the only one who still gets stuck on when anytime the word Phoenix comes into a conversation, I say to myself every time, I can't believe that's the 5th biggest city in America. There's something about Phoenix being as big as it is.
That's because in our lifetime it wasn't, and so now it is. It's crazy.
It's like when I was a kid and I got the Beatles' help. I was like, English people shouldn't ski. The Beatles on snow skis in the Alps. I was like, there's something wrong with that. Sure. There's something wrong with Phoenix being the 5th biggest city in America. Okay, I digress. So you did the WAYMO. It was fine.
The WAYMO was fine. Yeah.
I saw when I was in LA a couple months ago. They were everywhere. I mean, you see a WAYMO at every red light you're in, at least one. And then I just saw some in Atlanta over the weekend. Not nearly as many as you see in California, but they were around, and they have so many spinning parts on them. Mm-hmm. Like there's cameras at all times. They are obviously doing the best they can to be incredibly safe. But that said, there are plenty of WAYMO issues over the years in the cities where WAYMOs are operating.
Yeah.
Things go awry every now and again, and there's one specific thing I think we can all look forward to here in Minnesota. Which would be, we all know, what is it, the Minnesota standoff?
Yes.
Sure.
No,
you go.
The 4 people at a 4-way stop, and nobody will take a jump. In San Francisco, 4 driverless Waymos walked into a bar. No, I'm sorry, pulled up to an intersection. You add an Amazon van that's double parked, and you get this.
The Waymo is stuck because the Waymo is trying to go behind the Amazon, but then it's stuck behind the Waymo, and oh my God, there's another Waymo. What's everybody gonna do? What? It is a Waymo standoff. What is gonna happen? Who's gonna win? There's 4 of them stuck. That Waymo came through. Woo!
It's just status quo for the Midwest here. 4 cars and nobody wants to go.
4 stuck Waymos, all just Waymoing at each other.
They're all the Waymos are all white.
Yeah.
When the flakes fly here, are the Waymos going to be able to see the other Waymos when there's white everywhere?
Yeah, because they'll be freaking dirty. This is why my family has never owned a white car, is because they get so dirty in the snow.
That's very true. That was a Don Gorman staple. Never get a white car.
Yeah.
And what about black cars? They get dirty every other part of the year.
That's why my mom gets champagne, but it's really just snow-colored dirt.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Get a brown car. Then it just is dirty.
Yeah.
So Waymos. So they actually are. They're testing here now. There's a few canaries going down the coal mine, correct?
They just got here, and they are. I checked to be sure. They chose this city at this particular part of the year because winter's coming, and they want to be able to test for all weather.
So don't be surprised if you see one.
Oh my God, what could go wrong with snow, slippery roads, and driverless cars downtown?
Not much worse than what I see every winter around here, because I'm the guy who moved here and assumed everybody will be good in the snow.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah, wow. How'd that happen?
Sorry about that.
Yeah. First week driving to KQ in January of 23, and I watched a guy go right off University, right into. I was like, hey, that guy's never even driven a car, much less in ice and snow. It was one of the wildest things I've ever seen in my life. And I thought about stopping to help, but I was like, no, it's 4:15 and it's 1 degree. I'm not getting out of this car. I'm sorry. You're on your own, bud. Will you drive in a Waymo? Will you hop in a Waymo? Will you comfortably put your life into, who owns Waymo? Is it Amazon? Is it
I don't know.
Bezos?
It's Google.
Google.
Oh, that's
Waymo's
right.
a Google thing.
Okay, so will you trust Google with your life to get around town? 651-989-ROCK is your Luther Westside Volkswagen talk and text line. Let me know what you think. Look out. They're out there. Waymo, the autonomous, driverless, headless horseman of the Uber ranks, is coming to town.
I mean, if I can't ride with a headless horseman, I'm going with the Waymo.
Waymo should have called themselves Ichabod, now that I think about it.
That would have been cool.
Would have been way cooler if they were called Ichabod. I'm going to start, you know what? Google can do it, so can I. I'm going to start my own driverless car service, and it's going to be called Ichabod, by God.
Or just horsemen, even.
We would. So you've done one, Ryder. Paul, you'd hop in one, yes or no?
I'm not going to seek it out.
Okay.
You're not going to seek it? You're not going to try it?
Nah. I mean, if there's no other options or some specific situation, then maybe. But no, I don't need to. It's just like I'll get one with a human being behind the wheel.
We've got a few text messages, Paul.
Dean says, so what happens if I get drunk and take Waymo home, and on the way home I fall asleep? I wonder how that works. Do they have like a real loud sonic boom or something to get you up and out of the car?
Wow.
Yep.
Good question.
Passed out in the back seat of the Waymo.
I mean, they have cameras inside the Waymo, so like the customer service Waymo people can see if something is going awry and can talk to you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it's not like when I got drunk in the back of a taxi cab in St. Louis coming home from a riverboat casino one time, and the guy just drove around for an hour. Got to a hotel, and he was like, it's $67. Seriously.
Yeah.
I was like, back in like 1993. Like, I'm sorry, what?
$67?
Yeah, you're just driving around.
We went 6 blocks,
Two of us were passed out drunk.
Yeah, so points for Waymo, because the Waymo can't do that to you.
That's pretty great. By the way, that's going to be my thing. I'm afraid of a driverless car. Really? But here's the deal. If you get drunk and pass out, they won't circle the town on the perimeter for an hour and charge you $67. That's the silver lining. That should be in the TV commercials. Waymo, we won't bilk you if you get drunk and pass out.
We're not going to take the scenic route.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they're going to be looking to make every single dime that they can, which means they'll have like 6 people staring at screens across the entire country. How long is it going to take them to notice that you're passed out in the back? 30 minutes longer.
Let me ask you this: if you're, let's just say you're one of the guys at Google, one of the gals at Google, you're one of the big shots at Google. How many other things have you accomplished in life? How little concern do you have minute to minute where suddenly you're like, you know what we should do next? Let's develop driverless taxi cabs.
Right.
Let's take a job that's provided people income for millennia, from horse and carriage days to, let's just get rid of that. Let's develop cars that can travel without, and just the idea of everyone going, yeah, good idea. And they've just been working on this for years.
Decades.
And it's like, it's all the things you could be doing. And you're like, let's just do this. And then they hit the ground and there's competition because other people with gajillion dollars are sitting around going, hey, let's come up with driverless cars.
Well, now that these have hit the ground, there's going to be ones that leave the ground because we're looking at robo-taxis too.
It's crazy.
Flying. Robo-flying taxis. Yeah. That's nuts, man. The whole thing's crazy.
Y'all can't figure out how to keep the chargers from one model to the next, but you give me a car without a driver? What are the priorities around here, people? All right. Yes, Paul.
No, actually, we just got a last-second text, and I'm sure Mrs. Ryder would have preferred I didn't see this, but unfortunately I did. Mr. Ryder says, Ryder talks big about Waymo, but I made a video when we were in a Waymo where she's like, why? I don't like this.
Oh, boy.
But that was the first ride, and by the time we got to, the second and third ride, it was pretty... But it is unsettling the first time you do it, but, I'm going to buy you two your first Waymo ride. We're all getting in together.
All right. I'm down.
Game on.
If you buy, sure, I'll fly.
KQ's Rock the Pantry is wrapping up today.
This is it.
Yep. From 9 to 5. Today, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., we are still collecting non-perishable food donations here at the KQ Studios.
Yep.
2000 Southeast Elm Street. This is all to assist the Open Door Pantry. Every donor will get KQ swag and a shot to win awesome prizes. We've got Minnesota Wild tickets. We've got autographed pucks. We've got signed Kirill Kaprizov
jerseys.
Two of those.
Yeah.
Info, if you need more, is easy to find at 92kqrs.com. Rock the Pantry, sponsored by our friends at MSP Plumbing, Heating, Air. Come by, drop off some non-perishable goods, get some swag. Maybe you win a Kaprizov jersey. You feel good because you're doing the right thing.
And I tell you what, you want to bring this whole thing, you want to bring the bit from this morning full circle, hop in a Waymo right now. And bring us some goods, baby. Bring us some peanut butter. Bring us some tampons. Maybe some dry black beans. And by the way, if you need a full list or you're not feeling creative, go to 92kqrs.com. There's a whole page dedicated to what you can bring.
So, and you can't do this quite yet, but the cool thing about Waymos is they'll take goods too. You don't need to have a person inside the Waymo. You could just have somebody at Cub or whatever put the groceries in. No kidding, man.
So do that.
That's
I want to see a driverless car show up with goods in the back.
Maybe Rock the Pantry 2026. We'll be having a whole train of Waymos coming by, but not quite yet.
Why can't they do it today?
Because it's not active yet, man.
Okay, all right.
We're going to get there. All right, well, we got something to look forward to for next year.
Yeah, but today we want to see your face.
Bring it. Elizabeth Ries, one of the hosts of Twin Cities Live, is in studio with us because it's Friday and because she's cool enough to do it. Hello, Elizabeth.
Oh, guys, thanks for inviting me back.
Absolutely. It's a no-brainer.
It's always a sunny day when Elizabeth pops by.
Oh, that's nice.
And we're already off and running because we're talking, what else? Youth hockey.
Listen,
you got a couple of mites? Is that what I'm hearing?
Takes over your life. I got a mite too, and I got a mini mite. He's a little guy.
How old?
The mini mites. So my older son is 8,
and he's a mite too.
He's a mite too. Yep, he's a powerhouse out there.
Really?
And then he has a lot of fun. And then we've got a mini mite who's 5. So Franklin is the older one, and Heathcliff is the mini mite. And then my husband is. He's the head coach who holds these kids' feet to the fire.
He's the mighty mite.
Yeah. Mighty mite. Yep. So he's coaching the Mite 2 team.
Got to hold them accountable even at the age of 5, 6, 7.
Listen, you lay down the law. But they're having fun. This is our first year with 2 kids in hockey. I know probably a lot of people can relate to that. And when you look at your calendar, you have to
forget the weekend. It's gone.
You got to deep breathe through it. And then we have a daughter who is not a hockey player. She's a gymnast.
Oh, that's funny.
That doesn't take much time up.
No, not at all.
No, that's great.
Also, guys, It's so expensive. Like, you guys are paying me to come in here, right? Because I need the money to pay for the sports. It's costing a fortune.
There's the reason soccer is the greatest sport ever is because you need 2 goalposts and 1 ball. That's all you need.
Soccer
it's just gear free.
I know, but it gets sick expensive too. I have heard from parents that if you really want a great low cost activity, you got to get your kids in a track and field. That's the bargain.
Pro tip.
And they're runners and they have a great time. That is at this point the lowest cost until somebody figures out how to turn it into a money making club operation.
They will eventually. I'm sure. Yeah. But speaking of having a busy weekend, we've got because I'm a coach and a coordinator out in my daughter's youth association. We just had quadruplets enter the association.
You did not.
Really? Quad?
The dad calls himself the quad father.
Man,
that's kind of fun.
That's a good nickname.
That's pretty good.
I can't even imagine. Like, it doesn't get too crazy right now because they're all on the same team together.
That actually makes it better, yeah.
Because at least you're all there. But
you're all there at the same time.
How many assistants do you need just to get the kids ready for hockey?
Can a 5-year-old put their own skates on?
No, not even an 8-year-old can't even do it.
Oh my God!
No, you're tying skates, and the thing is like, as the mom, I think women are equally delightful as men. Listen, but I can't tie the skates as tight as my husband can. And so when I tie the skates...
I was just going to say, tying skates is man's work.
It's man's work.
It just is. I can't explain it, but it just is.
Me neither.
I can't imagine. The sad thing is this he's the quad father, but they actually had quints, and they said, we can only deal with 4 of you. One of you is going to have to sit out. They took a vote. Yep. They took a vote, and Larry got the short stick. And poor Larry, he's over there like playing violin now.
What's wrong with that?
Netflix series waiting to happen.
He'll be in the Dave Matthews Band before you know it.
Why did that one end up a serial killer? It's all about the hockey. They voted him off the team.
Yeah, they couldn't be on the team for sure.
So, I mean, kids are fun, but when Elizabeth Ries comes in, we really want to hear about the chickens. Come on, how many chickens are we talking about? How are the chickens right now?
The chickens are doing really great. The chickens are in the backyard. We did just get the hockey rink put up in the backyard, so now they've got...
Wow.
We do a rink in our Minneapolis backyard. It's amazing, but it fits.
What is it, like 50 square feet?
It's pretty big. It's actually big.
Is it really?
Sure? Yeah, it's like 30 by... I don't know.
Gee, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you own land in Minneapolis. Holy hell.
Wow.
We bought a real fixer.
TV money, my God.
We have multiple bathrooms that don't work, but we've got a yard. That was the trade-off, guys. And that's legit, the story. That's the true story. Yeah. But they're doing really well. One of them is molting right now. So
I've heard about this with spiders, but what is it with chickens?
Okay, so they molt. It doesn't involve fire. Thank you for asking, Gorman. But it is. It's a process, if you will.
Okay.
Where thank you.
Where Canadian?
That's what I'm trying to make it a thing here south of the border.
It's process.
It's not going that great, but I'm working on it. Where they lose their feathers. So this happens. Can happen once a year, once every couple of years. They'll lose their feathers, and your beautiful, big, fluffy, feathered friend will look like it's been put through the ringer. Like it's a chicken sponge that's been wrung out.
One of those scary cats with no fur.
100%.
Yeah.
And they get all like wonky, and then they're all uncomfortable because their feathers have to grow in. And then it's insane how this happens in the fall. Every time it happens, I'm like, oh my gosh, what if the feathers don't grow back and then it's going to be cold in the winter and then this whole thing? And miraculously, nature is so wise.
What's the timetable? Do they all drop in one day, or is it like a tree slowly getting rid of the leaves?
It's slowly getting rid of the leaves, and it's like a 2-month process. I mean, it really is process. Sorry, it takes a while. And so our one chicken, Garfield, she's molting. The others are too young, and so they're not molting this time. But she's molting, and she's a Brahma, which is a breed of chicken.
Right. Yep.
And they're big. I mean, she's like the biggest chicken I've ever had. They're big and they're fluffy.
And they're pretty, right?
They're so pretty. And she's just got like this fluffy little feather butt.
Will they eventually start molting on the same cycle?
No.
Okay.
But that's curious. A good question. You're very in touch with your femininity right now.
Absolutely. I'm surrounded by it.
And I love this. Yeah. Anytime we can have cycle talk, guys, let's do it.
I mean, I'm in a house with a wife, 2 daughters, and even the freaking dog is a girl. So, yeah, it's like now, it's just there.
Are we fans of the animated cat or the 20th president? Where does the Garfield come from?
Garfield came from, we also had a gray chicken at the time, and the kids were into Garfield, and so they named one Garfield and one Normal.
Okay.
See? So it really was the cartoon.
Of course.
Okay.
But, we do like a little presidential reference.
Sure.
Why not?
Have you heard of this show on Netflix called Death by Lightning? They just put it up a week ago, and they're not advertising it at all. And everybody says it's the best thing Netflix has put up in years. And it's a series about the assassination of President Garfield.
No way.
And Matthew McFadden from Succession plays Garfield. And dude from
Michael Shannon's in it.
Michael Shannon's in it.
Michael Shannon's so good.
Nick Offerman's in it.
It's and everything I've seen about it says this is, and they're by design like not talking it up. They're just letting it go word of mouth, and it's apparently just absolutely incredibly great. And I think it's hilarious because for somebody that made the decision not to promote the show, they're not doing press, they're just letting people find it. And by all accounts, it's really, 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 really great. And with that cast, that doesn't surprise me.
4 episodes.
Yeah.
Just added it to my list.
Oh, man.
So for everybody wondering, James Garfield, he was a president. He was the 20th president, and he was assassinated. Spoiler, sorry, but you should have already known that.
Yeah.
That's all I know about the show,
Unless
other
you
than
slept
it's
through
supposed
history
to be
class.
just absolutely fantastic. Okay, glad to know about the molting. And as a mom with young kids, I am. I'm fascinated by this sort of thing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
If you're not learning, you're not living. And I've already lived a full day thanks to my molting lesson I just got.
That's right.
This is my new favorite process. I'm down for the molting.
I think we should get behind Elizabeth on the process.
On the process thing.
Yeah.
I do it on the show, and there's one viewer who writes in and is like, "You're so annoying. Why do you try to like make us pronounce things the way that you want it to be pronounced?"
Because you have a
Agnes.
TV show and they don't.
I'm a human being, man. I have feelings and thoughts.
Yeah, and I want the world to be exactly how I want it. And I want everyone to say process.
Agnes in Plymouth, take a step, take a breath, touch grass. But as a mom with young kids, young hockey players, the whole thing, like every parent around, you got a lot of work ahead of you. Thanksgiving's right around the corner.
Listen, tea-giving is happening.
Yeah.
And I think Thanksgiving is the best holiday of the year.
Mm-hmm.
My dad always says it's the best holiday because it's all the food and you don't muck it up with having to deal with presents.
Right, yeah.
And Hallmark doesn't get their nose in it. It's just like it's an understated... It's just about family and food.
It's not so commercialized.
Yeah.
I mean, the food stuff a little bit, but it's not like everything. You have to buy a card. Americans spend $300 on plastic crap every Thanksgiving. Like, that doesn't really happen.
Right.
So I love
with you.
Thanksgiving. And I'm a big, my celebrities are not super musicians. Sorry, Gorman. They're farmers. I love farmers. So anything we can do to, celebrate farmers, to buy local, to really... just honor them, I think is really special.
That is really special. Are you in the kitchen all day? Is it a family? Is everybody do their part, or do you say get out? You're just in the way. Let me do this.
We do multiple Thanksgivings because we don't do 2 in one day, and our family is local. Most of our family,
nice.
So we have a couple different traditions. So I always encourage people to let go of the attachment to Thanksgiving Day. You know how it can get if you're not coming to my house for Thanksgiving, then, you don't care about us as much.
Yeah.
Right.
And instead, when you have families where, you've married someone and they have a family, turns out when you marry someone, you have to do sometimes what their family wants to do.
Turns out.
So we like to split up the tradition. So we do Thanksgiving, the actual Thanksgiving meal with my family.
Mm-hmm.
Generally, my parents. Sorry, you guys, I have a meeting for Twin Cities Live. I'm going to skip it. My alarm just went off.
Nice.
And then...
For us? You're doing it for us?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
You're amazing.
And then when we do something really special with my husband's family. So my husband's mom passed away right before we started dating.
Mm-hmm.
Her name was Ries, and she was 100% Mexican. And she would make this Mexican chicken tortilla soup that Jay loved. And
I love it already. I'm
so
such
good.
a fan of tortilla soup.
So Jay's Aunt Rachel gave me the recipe when Jay and I started dating and knew that I really loved to cook. And so I started making this tortilla soup. Shout out to El Burrito Mercado on Cesar Chavez, because that's where we go to get a lot of the ingredients. And I make this soup, and then we get tamales, and we get chips and salsas and guacs and all this stuff. And with Jay's family, we do this Thanksgiving, and we'll do it the Friday after Thanksgiving.
Nice.
And we do like this total Mexican feast in honor of her. So that's
Gorgeous.
been a really special tradition.
This is what I want, because I'm not a fan of Thanksgiving food. I'm always like, why can't we just have freaking nachos?
Yeah.
And I guess that we can.
You can, and it's fun. I mean, it's like, what are you thankful for in being together? You can switch it up. And I'm with you. I love the Thanksgiving food, but I don't love it 4 days in a row.
No.
Okay.
Light a candle for Ries, and you are completely. That's your way in. If someone's like, I don't want this for hey, we're doing this for us.
Yeah.
It's everybody's grandfathered in that way.
That's what we do. It is. I have posted that recipe too, and it's on. I have a little blog. It's a very rudimentary blog, so don't expect anything fancy. But it's called HomeToHomestead.com. So like you turn your home into a homestead. Any
Very
home
nice.
can have some homesteading properties. And I've posted it on there in years past. So if you just search for tortilla soup, you'll find it. And it is so freaking good, you guys.
I don't doubt it.
It's not my recipe. I just make it.
Don't doubt it. Elizabeth Ries is in the studio with us. So you will spend some point of the afternoon on Thanksgiving Day itself. You will watch your beloved Packers as they play in Detroit. But between now and then, your beloved Packers have a home game Sunday against the Minnesota Vikings.
Here we go. Big game.
Now, how does the Ries household handle Vikings, Packers head-to-head?
We're all Packers in our house.
Wow.
And I make the pilgrimage. I'm making the pilgrimage to Green Bay
This weekend?
Yep, I leave tomorrow. So don't bother me, guys. That's where I'm going to be.
Sorry.
I'm going to Green Bay, and I am super pumped. So my dad was born in Madison. He was a Packers fan from the time he was 5. His name was on the wait list for season tickets at Lambeau.
Yeah.
I think he put it on the list in like 1991 when he got to pick the family vacation, and we went to Green Bay for a family vacation.
Oh boy.
And he got season tickets when the Lambeau did that 6,000 seat expansion. And I am not kidding. The phone call from my dad that day.
Oh, yeah.
I've never
Tears?
heard the man more excited. I mean, he's like, today, here it is.
Fantastic.
He was so excited. And so he has 3 games. This weekend, we're going with 2 other couples, my husband and I. And we rented a house in Green Bay, and we're going to stay there for a couple nights and just soak up the fun at Lambeau. And it'll be really fun because my Twin Cities Live co-host, Ben Lieber, he does sideline reporting for the Vikings.
Sure does.
He'll be there. So maybe we'll get to sneak in a little visit from him. The team stays in Appleton. They don't stay in Green Bay proper. So they're a little further away.
Right.
He stays with them, but we'll see.
Can you get on the field and taunt Ben Lieber?
Well, I will be heckling him from the sidelines, and then
Sure
I'll of course text him like, "Can you see me? Here I am."
Yeah.
I would say if you guys don't get some TCL content out of this, you're not respecting the process.
We will. We will absolutely respect the process. And it's fun because I worked in Green Bay for 3 years. WBAY Action 2 News. Thanks for asking.
Wow.
Oh, we use Action 2 News from time to time on this show.
2 News is pretty good. It was really...
We do.
It was a stressful time in my life when I was working there. But
I would imagine few things are more stressful than being young and living in Green Bay, and it's not football season.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
What do you do?
That's called climbing the walls.
Yeah, Green Bay has improved a lot. It was not great when I lived there.
No, we know. Yeah, we're well aware.
Been there once, and not enough for a game. I do want to. It's on the list. I have to see a game at Lambeau Field because everyone does. Only went to Green Bay once and got there and had the thing that so many have, which is, this is it?
This is
Yeah.
They have an NFL team here?
I know.
Yeah.
They have a football team here?
Isn't it shocking?
Shocking.
It's
truly.
It's
but
really
that's been
shocking.
about 25 years, so I'm sure it's come a long way since then.
They've built up so much around Lambeau. They've made it so much better. But it'll be really fun. I mean, I know I'm talking to an audience of Vikings fans. There are a few Packers fans out there, but if you can go to Green Bay for a Vikings-Packers game, it's legendary. It's such a fun rivalry. It'll be really, really great. It's an easy zip to get over there.
I got as good an experience as you can get. It was, I don't know, maybe 10 degrees, maybe a little bit colder than that. Christian Ponder era. There was a little snow in the air. I mean, it was like you couldn't get any better than that. It was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Highly recommend. Even as a passive Vikings fan like I am, 1,000% should make that trip. It's a blast.
Elizabeth, are you leaving? You're going to hang out for a bit. What's your schedule?
I'm hanging. Listen, I
you're
already
hanging?
skipped my meeting, so what else do I have to do?
Nice.
Hell yeah.
All right, Elizabeth's hanging in the studio. We got headlines in 5 minutes and 2 songs.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the Morning is back. 92 KQRS.
Gorman in the Morning, Minnesota's 92 KQRS. It is Friday, November the 21st. Elizabeth Ries is hanging out in studio with us today.
Happy Friday, friends. Thanks for having me.
It is
100%.
always our pleasure. Right now, I'm curious as to what's happening in the world. I'm feeling Minnesota. Paul Fletcher, give me some headlines.
Nothing shocking here. MSP Airport anticipates more than 441,000 travelers between yesterday and Monday, December 1st. Can you guess what the busiest day is going to be, Elizabeth? Which day do they think of the Thanksgiving travel circuit?
It's the day before Thanksgiving. It's Wednesday, isn't it?
It is Sunday, November 30th,
Close.
expected to be more than 49,000 passengers at MSP. AAA is projecting this to be a record-setting Thanksgiving holiday travel period.
Boy, we were at the airport yesterday for Twin Cities Live. We did a whole show at the airport.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's fun.
It was fun, and there were lots of secret tricks. I travel quite a bit,
Yep.
you know? I mean, not all the time, but I feel like I'm a regular traveler.
Yeah.
There are lots of secret tricks that I didn't know about. Like, do you know about the silver parking ramp? You can park in, when you go in, you kind of have to make like a sharp U-turn back almost.
Okay.
And then the silver parking ramp is always the least populated.
Okay.
And then did you know that you can reserve a space in the security line?
This is another thing. How do you do this?
You go to,
What are you talking
go to
about?
the airport's website, and it's called MSP Reserve. And then you can reserve your spot, and it's an hour before your flight. And then you go in the special first class / MSP Reserve lane in the security line, and you literally go right in to your place.
Do you need clear or pre-check or any of that crap?
I have clear and I have pre-check, and now I'm thinking, maybe I didn't need that. I just need to do this MSP Reserve. But like, especially if you're traveling with a family, or if you're traveling and maybe you're not a seasoned traveler and you get kind of nervous about it.
Yeah.
Yes, I learned so much. We have a lot of pro tips on TwinCitiesLive.com.
Okay.
We did a segment. The first segment of the show was with a guy named Jeff who gave us all. Ben travels a lot. We were both like, I had no idea.
It's fascinating.
Wow, that is. No clue. Wow, that's amazing.
Good old Jeff from the airport.
Jeff really killed it.
Yesterday was Give to the Max Day 2025 in Minnesota. Over 6,000 nonprofits and schools benefited. Record-breaking year, friends. $37.8 million raised.
Nice.
Isn't that amazing? People are very generous.
They are. In a time that we're really, really tight and everything's super expensive, there's still plenty of giving to be done out there, apparently.
It does
Nice.
feel like the groceries
A lot of
are
Chili
really
Peppers
expensive.
fans out there.
Give it away now.
See how that works?
That was good.
We'll transition into another band from that era. Soundgarden is close to finishing an album featuring previously unreleased recordings with late frontman Chris Cornell. It's going to be produced by Terry Date. Surviving members say they're excited about the new music. What else are they going to say, really? But they probably are. Adding that the demos have been powerful and transformative, leading to a distinct Soundgarden sound. The delay in releasing the music has been due to legal disputes with Vicky Cornell. It's been an emotionally challenging time, I guess, but it's also added weight to the project. So new Soundgarden, hopefully sooner than later.
I'm curious. You know, the Beatles have done stuff without John Lennon, obviously. In 95, the anthology, there was Free as a Bird and Real Love, two big hit songs. From, John sang it into a cassette player in the 70s and in the 90s. And then they did the one just last year, the final song they released, which was another moment where you're like, oh my God, hey, there's John Lennon's voice singing something I've never heard. Not the greatest songs of the catalog, but still kind of cool. If this is even close to that, it'll be great. I trust that the guys in Soundgarden are approaching this with all of the right impetus and with the right intent. That's what I'm trying to say.
That's a great way
Those are men who do things the right way. I believe in them. I trust that this is going to be worthy and not a exploitation of some demos that Chris Cornell was not otherwise happy with.
All right, this was perfect that we have Elizabeth here because you love animals.
I love them.
A group of amateur whale watchers off the coast of Washington got a unique wildlife experience. It involved a seal jumping onto their boat to escape a pod of killer whales. Check this out. A group of amateur whale watchers off the coast of Washington got a unique wildlife experience. It involved a seal jumping onto their boat to escape a pod of killer whales. Check this out.
Oh, you poor thing. We noticed that the seal had popped up. The moment it saw us, it turned for us and just bolted. And at that point, we saw dorsal fins coming from every which direction. The orca are searching all around for it, and the seal is basically directly underneath the boat. And I was like, is he trying to get on? He's not trying. He's on.
He is on our boat.
We're surrounded by whales. He's just looking around with those big, like, puppy dog eyes. After about half an hour's nap, he kind of gets up and he sniffs the air and realizes he's okay. And then off he went.
Bye, buddy.
That is likely to be the single most unique wildlife encounter I'll ever have.
Wait, half an hour nap?
Yeah, that's what happens.
Yeah.
Humans would need 40 years of therapy to recover from that. A seal takes a half an hour nap and is like, it's time to proceed. It's the blessing and the curse of being a human, guys.
Yeah. Back in the water we go.
I just love that the seal he just sniffs the air. Okay, no killer whales.
And
Great.
knows. That's
nuts. Whereas there could be a humpback whale 21 feet below the boat I'm on. I would have no idea.
Isn't that amazing? Those orcas, though, I mean, their hunting
they're so smart.
They are so smart. And you know what's so cool? I love like nature documentaries is that different pods learn different hunting methods and then teach it to the others. And then other areas of the world, they don't use that same technique. It's so cool.
They'll like create the little like mini tsunamis to try to tip over icebergs or you know, whatever. And then others just will like thrash around, you know, and get the animal confused. Yeah, that's crazy to see all the different.
They should never be in captivity. You heard it
agree
here.
more.
Yeah.
I would.
Too crafty.
There's the day's going to come when somebody's going to figure out how we can interpret all their communications, and they will have been saying for centuries. Can you believe those idiots looking at us? Look at that! Oh, we got a car. Away we go. Watch this, and then no.
One of them
they're way ahead of us.
One of them will for sure say when we crack the code, we'll say the Beatles were pretty good.
Yeah, they will. They absolutely will. We were talking earlier about the greatest bands of all time. Just going to throw something at you. We were talking about you can't put the Beatles on the list because they just are so bigger and than everybody ever said.
Okay.
You know, they're just sort of the border collie at the dog park. They're over there. The Beatles in 7 years released 213 songs.
That is so many.
And how many of those songs would you imagine you've heard? I said everybody, at least 75% of those.
Probably. This is funny because just the other day in the Twin Cities Live office, for some reason, the Beatles came up and we were naming songs and singing them. Everybody has heard so many of them.
So many. There's not another band that you could even say, it sounds nuts to say this, but nobody else has 100 songs everybody's heard. The Beatles have at least 150.
Yeah.
It's wild.
And even, do you remember the movie I Am Sam? And they did all the Beatles covers.
Yeah.
And so for me, because, you know, I'm 44, so I obviously wasn't alive during the Beatles' heyday. But that soundtrack was the introduction to the love of the Beatles for me because I heard so many artists do it so well.
The next time you hear those high falsettos on Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, right here.
No.
Yeah, we're on. Black Crowes are on that soundtrack. Huh. My only vocal performance on a Black Crowes track was singing the I can't do it with my throat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously.
How good was
Lucy in
Sean
the Sky
Penn?
with Diamonds, too. That song is just legendary to me because I waitressed at this restaurant in Madison in college. And every night when we would shut it down, we would be cleaning up and we would blast Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds and I'll sing it. And it reminds me of that restaurant. And, you know, those song memories are real deal.
They are the real deal. Yeah. How good was Sean Penn? Ask Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder how good he was.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
That's also another winner of a movie.
Cautionary tale. Don't go full. All right. We talking sports?
Yeah.
We talking sports? Let's look ahead at the weekend. Timberwolves tonight in Phoenix, 8 p.m. This is an NBA Cup game, not a regular season game. The Wolves absolutely should win this game handily. The Wild, the resurgent Minnesota Wild. Elizabeth, they're on a tear right now.
Yes.
Nice to see, isn't it?
This is very good.
They're in Pittsburgh playing the Pens. That's 6 p.m.
Yeah.
How about your returning back-to-back champion Frost kicking off the season tonight at the Grand Casino Arena?
Love to see it.
Love to see it.
Nice
Paul
job
Fletcher
on
will be spinning tunes.
That's right.
Seriously.
He's the music man
I'm
at
the
the
music
Frost
guy
games.
for the Frost.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's pretty fun. I mean, it's like where the rest of Minnesota, we kind of have to embrace losing. You know, women's sports, they're like, we don't know anything about losing.
We don't know anything about
the
it.
Lynx don't know anything about losing.
Soccer,
the Frost
they don't know anything about
Soccer's
losing.
really good. Yeah.
They're amazing. The Aurora is unbelievable.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, it's different on the women's side. just domination. Nobody else has touched that cup other than the Frost.
The women can't tie skates that tight, but we can win the games.
I bet Taylor Heisey can tie. I don't think Taylor's dad is coming in.
Taylor's dad is not coming into tire skates. Taylor Heisey is also one of the nicest human beings.
She is.
What a gem of a person.
We've had
Paul Fletcher, the music man for the Minnesota Frost.
Yeah.
I love that.
I love it. It's
of course,
fun.
Then I want to go on a Music Man jag and talk about, we got trouble right here in River City, but that's a whole nother day. The Gophers are playing Northwestern tomorrow at Wrigley Field.
Wow.
How about that?
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's
second
fun.
week in a row, Northwestern's playing football at Wrigley Field.
Up there, the friendly confines of Wrigley Field.
I would even watch a Northwestern football game if it was at Wrigley Field.
Oh, my God. Imagine. Let's have AI bring Harry Carey back, and he can call the game.
That's a good idea.
That I would listen to.
You would have been very excited to be where I was when I was in Chicago a week and a half ago. My hotel was directly across the front. I mean, from my window, I'm looking at the big Wrigley Field sign right there on Clark Street.
First time I entered that ballpark, it was Twins-Cubs. The first time the Twins had ever visited Wrigley Field, so that was cool.
Yeah.
And you kind of go if you've been there and if you sit in the lower bowl or what the lower seats, you go down a little bit, then you walk upstairs. Yeah. And honestly, I swear to God, I heard as the vines and I'm getting goosebumps right now as it all revealed itself to me slowly. It was just
I had an amazing moment at Wrigley Field.
So good.
In the summer of '93, was up there to see the Braves and the Cubs. Yeah. And it was the Chicago, the Air and Land Show, the big the air show over Lake Michigan, the sea and whatever it's called.
Which is scary if you don't know what's happening and you're in the town and then all of a sudden you think we've gone to war.
Well,
that happened to me.
Well, no. This happened to Wrigley Field. We are at the game, day game. Fred McGriff, the crime dog for the Braves, is standing in at home plate. And as the Cubs pitcher is in his windup, a solo Blue Angel buzzed the field.
Scary.
At full speed and what looked to be 3 feet over the back row. It wasn't, but you see an F-18 or whatever it was go by. It's never as low as you think, but this was as low. I would have bet it dipped into the field and up.
Was it so loud?
It didn't, but yes, it was so loud. It shook the stadium, and it was gone before the noise. It happened so fast.
Right.
I was in my seat, and I'm staring at Fred McGriff, and he left the ground. He jumped up so high. The pitcher went to the ground.
Yeah.
He squatted down. The whole stadium, everybody ducked for cover, and then as we realized what it was, everyone screams, everyone jumps up, pumps their fists, a USA chant breaks out because we're all crazy, and it went on for about 60 seconds of hilarity, and the next pitch, Fred McGriff hit a home run.
Wow.
I was just gonna say,
it was unbelievable.
I was just going to say, I just Googled it. Fred McGriff is the only ball player in the history of Major League Baseball to hit a home run with poop in his pants.
That was it. I kid you not. It was a moment right there.
That is amazing.
It was nuts.
That is cooler than my Chicago air show story when I was in Chicago with my mom and we were just walking around and I'm like, we've gone to war. We have gone to war and no one said anything. It's so loud over the lake too.
It's nuts. It's nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's always when you see 4 Blue Angels, it's like, oh, okay. But then when there's those 2 that are just being wise asses flying off on their own,
sure.
Yeah, they wreak all kinds of havoc.
Oh my God.
Trolled the whole
I
ballpark.
was on a golf course in San Francisco, and one of those guys buzzed over very low once, and you saw a bunch of golfers with poop in their pants. That's how that works. Hey, Wyoming, what's up? Come on, Wyoming.
Wyoming, Minnesota.
Yeah, well, of course.
Not the state.
Elizabeth likes the word process.
I like to change process to process. I think it makes us sound more,
dignified,
with it.
Educated,
Canadian. A little bit of Canadian is okay. Just the right amount. Not too much. We're not going to go sorry.
Are there any words that you unintentionally mangle? Are there words you struggle with?
Yeah.
Either pronunciation or definition, or I'll give you an example.
Okay.
My entire life, and I still do this, if I'm going to say look out the window, I almost always say look out the window. I get mirror and window. There is a glitch in my brain.
Yeah.
Weird.
They are forever, and I clearly know the difference, but one always wants to supersede the other.
Something happened. I used to really struggle. I thought the word finagle, like to finagle something,
Finagle,
was finangle.
Finagle.
Ooh.
But it's finagle.
Yeah.
And I didn't learn that there was no N in it until I was like 42.
Okay.
So that was a struggle. Early in my television career, and even now, the word rural is very...
Well, sure.
Yep.
Rural's tough.
Rural is so tough to say. And when you have it in a script on TV, it's really hard.
I'm sure.
Hey, Elizabeth, do you think that you would struggle with the band name Howl Owl Howl?
Howl Owl Howl. I've actually been saying it out loud regularly because I've been seeing Gorman's posts about his new band.
You got to work on it.
Howl Owl Howl.
Howl Owl Howl.
Howl,
Just say it fast. Howl Owl Howl.
Yeah, I'm getting it.
Yeah.
I'm getting it.
It's a band name that looks better than it sounds by design.
Howl Owl Howl.
Howl Owl Howl.
I'm getting
it.
You
got to say it fast.
Yeah.
That's
Another one, I didn't know what the word penultimate meant.
Okay.
For a long time.
Great word.
And so then it would, like, one of our producers wrote it in a script, like, it's the penultimate episode of whatever, death by lightning or whatever.
I hate that word, actually.
And then I would skip it because I didn't know what it meant. So I just wouldn't say it. And then I was realizing,
I love that word. I think penultimate's badass.
I think our producer, Christian, was like, why are you skipping that word? And I had to just say it because I don't know what it means. And then he's like, well, why don't I tell you what it means?
Yeah.
And then you can say it. So I did.
That is the ultimate broadcast hack, is if you see a word you don't know how to say,
just skip it.
Yeah. Just skip it. Or a last name, if you have a really... I will have to practice certain words. For example, whenever we're talking about the Mdewakanton Sioux tribe, I had to practice Mdewakanton and I would have to say it. Like when we do a show at Mystic, I have to say it. And I don't want to screw that up for them or for anyone.
Yeah.
And my hairstylist is native, and so she sat there one day with me when I was doing my hair, and we just kept saying Mdewakanton.
There you go.
And then I got on the air and I screwed it up.
Sure you did.
And couldn't
Always,
say it.
yeah. It's unavoidable, pretty much.
But now I've got it. Now I got through it, and now I want to say it anytime I can.
Prove it.
Mdewakanton.
Yeah.
Howl, owl, howl.
Howl. The word that trips me up in scripts all the time is business.
Why?
Just because it's always like, it feels like other words around it are always similar-ish. And so it's just like whenever you're talking about businesses, I don't know what it is.
Interesting.
Talking business, like even then, it's business.
Busy bees buzzing.
I is what
busy
throws me
bees
off.
buzzing about
Can we
business?
get rid of the I?
Yeah, busy.
Just make it business.
Wow.
Business.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
How are you with red leather, yellow leather?
Red leather, yellow leather.
Keep going.
Red leather, yellow leather.
I took a lot of voice lessons.
Your brain wants to go right to yellow, doesn't it?
Sure does.
Red leather, yellow leather. Red.
It happens.
We used to have to do that in choir at Apple Valley High School with my choir director, Bruce Becker. Shout out to Bruce.
Good
Come
morning,
on, Bruce.
And we would have
tennis player?
No.
Bruce Becker?
No.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, he kind of does. But no, he was a choir director, and he would make us go red leather, yellow leather.
Nice.
Yeah.
Red leather, yellow leather.
I can see it. Elizabeth, have a great weekend in Green Bay.
You guys, thank you for having me, and it's going to be a fun game to watch. Listen, Vikings fans, I know you hate the Packers, but without them, what fun would you have? What do you want to do? Just play?
Wow. You're saying the Packers are a raison
No, I'm
d'etre?
saying that you got to play somebody. Like, what do you want to do? Go out there on the field by yourself? Like, you got to get after it.
God.
It'll be fun. It's gonna be
I
fun.
have a
You gotta
feeling
have
Vikings
rivalries.
fans would rather play with themselves most times than watch this team. Elizabeth, last time I'm going to squeeze the last squeeze of the day. We're talking top-rated band, favorite band of all time. Who is it? Who's your number one?
Guys.
You don't have to explain it. You don't have to give us the algorithm.
Is this her objective or her favorite?
No, your favorite. Not the best band ever, not the greatest band ever.
No,
Elizabeth's favorite band
my
ever.
My deepest emotional attachment would be to the Dave Matthews Band. I know that's good.
There it is. No.
That's it.
Bless him.
There are no wrong answers.
It's just,
there are no wrong answers.
It reminds me of like a certain time in my life.
Of course it
and
does.
It's so great. And the song Satellite could make me cry.
Music wins. That's why. Because there are no wrong answers. There are just answers that make us look at you differently now moving forward. All right, great. Have a great weekend. All right, it's time for the last word.
All right.
As it's Friday, we look to Mark Twain.
Yes, indeed.
Nice and easy. All generalizations are false, including this one.
This is the one to trust.
Twain's the best.
Yes.
Hey, Monday on Gorman in the Morning, we will play Gorman in the Morning yearbook for Minnesota Wild tickets.
Yeah.
We're going to have a drop-by guest, a gentleman known as Mr. Ryder is going to come in.
Monday?
We'll be discussing Record Store Day, Black Friday rundown.
That's fun.
He keeps threatening to tell everybody how all I do is eat, sleep, and watch football. And I'm like, I think they already know that.
Yeah.
It is no secret.
It's hardly going to be earth-shattering news.
I think what he meant to, though, is eat, drink, and play and watch football.
I do some sleeping.
There's some sleeping in there.
Yeah, sometimes simultaneously.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I misspoke. I meant to replace drinking with eating with drinking, not sleeping.
Oh, it's all down the gullet.
Sleep, drink.
It's all the same. It's all the same.
Sorry, never mind.
That's all right. Ryder interrupts her naps to get another PBR and then goes right back to sleep.
Right.
Game on.
So you got to have a protocol. So that's what's going on around here Monday. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Fletcher, what's coming up right now?
Cars, Queen, Garbage, George Harrison. Tickets for, we've got a new 2-day festival happening at Treasure Island Amphitheater in June. It's called Rockin' the Island. Stone Temple Pilots are headlining. I got tickets for that. I got tickets for The Wild and commercial free just after 11:45.
Gorman in the Morning is also Gorman on the go. Get the 92 KQRS app and stream live or catch the Gorman in the Morning podcast anytime. 92 KQRS.